I shall give you a boy who will be your grandson. This is the magnificent divine prophecy received by his grandfather, Hadhrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, the promised Messiah. His father, Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad, Khalifatul Massih II, announced on the 26th of September 1909, Allah has given me the glad tiding that I will be blessed with a son who will be a Nasir-e-Din, helper of faith. He will be committed to serving Islam. It is also said that he, the Messiah, shall die, and his kingdom descend to his son and the grandson. These prophecies were fulfilled in the person of Hazrat Hafiz Mirza Nasir Ahmad, Khalifatul Massih III.
ए नासिर दी तेरी यादें हैं क़ल्बो नज़र का सरमाया इन यादों से हम जीते जी यादों के चमन महकाएंगे
Hazrat Hafiz Mirza Nasir Ahmad, Khalifatul Massih III, was born to Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad and Hazrat Sayyida Nasir Mahmuda Begum Sahiba on the 16th of November 1909 in Qadian.
Hazrat Amma Jan and Hazrat Nusrat Jahan Begum, the wife of the promised Messiah alayhi salam, she took care of Hazrat Khalifatul Massih Salis soon after his birth, and literally he was brought up all along in her custody and up until I think his marriage.
Under the directions of his revered father, he committed the whole of the Holy Quran to memory at the age of 13 in 1922. He learned Arabic and Urdu from Hazrat Maulvi Sarwar Shah Sahib.
Hadhrat Mirza Nasir Ahmad Sahib, the Khalifatul Massih III, was a highly educated person, not only in religious education but also in secular education. He joined the Massih-e-maud, which is a school for Arabic and religious teachings. He passed from there and joined anti-ahmadiyyat, from where he did his Maulvi Fazl degree from the Punjab University. He stood third in Maulvi Fazl examination and got top numbers. After the completion of his Arabic education as Maulvi Fazl, he joined the Government College at Lahore. He did his BA from the Government College, Lahore, and then his father, Hazrat Khalifatul Massih II, Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, decided that he should be sent to England for further education.
On the 5th of August 1934, he was married to Hazrat Sayyida Mansura Begum Sahiba, who was the daughter of Hazrat Nawab Muhammad Ali Khan Sahib and Hazrat Sayyida Nawab Mubaraka Begum Sahiba. He then proceeded to England on the 6th of September 1934 for postgraduate studies at Balliol College, Oxford, and in due course obtained the honours degree of the University of Oxford and later became Master of Arts of the university. While in England, he started the publication of a quarterly magazine, Al-Islam. After completing his education, he returned to India on the 9th of November 1938.
As a Khalifatul Massih Salis returned from the UK after his studies in 1938, and he was appointed in Jamia-e-Ahmadiyya in Qadian and as a lecturer, as a professor in Jamia-e-Ahmadiyya, and then later on became its principal as well.
A few years later, he was to become principal of the prestigious TI College, Rabwa.
Hadhrat Mirza Nasir Ahmad Sahib was the first principal appointed of this great institution. So we can say that he was the founder, principal of this Talimul Islam College, and under his supervision and guidance, the whole structure of the college was established from nothing, and he organized everything, he arranged for everything, and by the grace of Allah, it was properly functioning at the time of the partition. One can say that by the grace of Allah, in every aspect, the college was really a model for the rest of the educational institutions in Pakistan. And that was all done under the kind supervision and care and guidance of Hadhrat Sahibzada Mirza Nasir Ahmad Sahib, who continued to be the principal of Talimul Islam College right from the beginning, from 1944 to 1965.
One of his next appointments was to the post of the president of the anti-ahmadiyya organization.
Massih-e-maud, as you're aware, was founded in 1938, and the following year, in 1939, Hadhrat Massih Salis was appointed as its Sadr, as its president. And at that time, there was no limit to the tenure as well, so he was its president for 10 years till 1949. And thereafter, it is not that commonly known, even amongst our Khaddam as well, that Hazrat Khalifatul Massih Sani then actually was also a Sadr, not just at its inception, but also took over the reins, because it was a very difficult period leading up to 1954 with the anti-ahmadiyyat riots as well. So Hazrat Khalifatul Massih Sani, Hazrat Massih-e-maud became, for a good number of years, became its Sadr. And then for the day-to-day administration again, Hazrat Khalifatul Massih Salis was its Naib Sadr, or the vice president, and he carried on in that position till 1954, and then, of course, in other capacities as well after that.
At the time of partition, he stayed in Qadian, but immigrated to Pakistan on the 16th of November 1947. He was to play a major role in the setting up of the Furqan Force Battalion.
Furqan Force was a body of members of the Ahmadiyya community. It was the brainchild of Hazrat Khalifatul Massih Sani, as a Massih-e-maud. And it was primarily to ensure that the government of Pakistan, to give the government of Pakistan able-bodied people who could serve in Kashmir itself. Because at that time, especially with the first war over Kashmir as well, from 1948 onwards, it was felt that a lot of members were required to help out in various activities, not necessarily in fighting, but it was similar to perhaps the Homeland Force, which viewers in the UK perhaps may be able to relate to. And a lot of sacrifices were made at that time by a lot of individuals, and they lived in very harsh conditions in Kashmir, helping out in the low-lying areas around the war zones as well. And they assisted the people of Kashmir greatly at that time. Hazrat Khalifatul Massih Salis, if I remember correctly, was there for roughly between a year to 2 years, from 1948 to 1950, perhaps. And again, a lot of members, some of the brothers were there as well, and a lot of members of the community were there serving at that time, staying away from friends and family, living in very harsh conditions at that time.
In 1953, mass riots took place in Pakistan due to Ahmadi opposition.
In 1953, a storm of opposition was raised by the non-Ahmadi ulamas against the Ahmadiyya community, demanding that the Ahmadiyya community